Hi, I'm Ayushmann Khurrana and you're watching midday.com.
Hi, I'm Atulya and welcome to midday.com, and today we have with us Ayushmann Khurrana, the dream girl who's having a dream run at the box office. So first of all, congratulations Ayushmann.
Thank you, Atulya. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
So I have to start with the box office because Dream Girl 2 has made a space for itself at a time when Gaddar 2 and OMG 2 are dominating the box office. And it also gave you your biggest opening of your career, and I think that speaks volume for a film.
Absolutely.
So what's your state of mind right now?
Relieved, happy that we are part of this beautiful wave which has turned the fortunes of Hindi cinema at the box office. We have seen a lot in the past 2 years where there was a big lull in terms of box office success, not just with me, with all the other actors also, a lot of actors in fact. And Dream Girl 2 has been part of this, so I'm fortunate and we are blessed.
You know, you and other artists as well have said that when a good film does not work, it is because of a lot of factors. It could be bad timing, not enough marketing, or many other factors. So I want to say that Dream Girl 2 had a great marketing. It established that recall value right from the beginning by integrating into all the big releases. So I wanted to know, like, how much time does it get you into becoming Pooja physically? And did you have to become Pooja every time for every promo?
Technically, 3 hours to to just transition myself to Pooja. It was game of patience for me, of course, because as an actor you're going through that, shaving, waxing, and then putting your fake hair and lehenga and everything. Makeup takes another 1.5 hours. Shooting in like bad heat of like North India. We started last year during peak summers. It was difficult, but not for the promos. We are using the earlier footage, so yeah, let's be practical and not waste more time. Yeah, that's Ekta Kapoor. She uses money very smartly.
Yeah, but brilliant marketing track. I think people had that recall value throughout the year, I think.
It's Ekta's baby, and also Raj's punchlines in the promos also.
Yeah. What are the pros and cons of working in a sequel as an actor?
There are more pros that you have the credibility of the previous one. It's a franchise and people go with that credibility, and it reflects the opening of the film if you carry that nostalgia forward. And the con could be that, of course, there are heavy expectations and you to reach those expectations, the benchmark has to be reached. So yeah, these are the only two things, but I'm glad that people are loving the sequel as well, and it's doing good at the box office.
So before the release, you said in one of the interviews, I think, that it's not for the woke audience, this film.
Yeah.
Before you make a film, is there always a kind of target audience for every film? Like, this is for tier 2, majorly, this is for tier 1 city. Yeah. Does that happen now?
Yeah, it does. Like, of course, I've only done 2 films which penetrated really deep in the small cities, tier 2 and tier 3 cities, like Dream Girl and Dream Girl 2. Yeah. These are the only ones, probably Bala to some extent. Badhai also to some extent, but mostly Dream Girl franchise. And we were clear in our heads that this is not for the woke audience, it's not for the intelligent audience. It's like, apne ghar pe dimag rakho aur bas film dekho. It's laugh out loud, comedy, very massy, and just the opposite of progressive, the kind of cinema I've been known for. But we were clear about that. And it was supposed to do this, what is happening right now, to get the box office numbers. And we have reached there.
But when people talk about, because everybody has an opinion and everybody can put out their opinion out there today, when people say, this is not intelligent enough or something like that, does it affect you?
Not at all. I think we were very clear with the target audience, and it's doing great in the smaller cities, especially in the North Belt, Rajasthan, UP, MP, Delhi also, Punjab also. We have reached out to our desired audience people. Nothing is sweeter than box office success. Though I was part of last 2 films of mine, I think critically very well acclaimed, both Dr. G and Action Hero, but they couldn't do much at the box office. So I had to reach out to wider people so that I can do my kind of films again. Yeah. So it just gives you, empowers you. Yeah. It empowers you to stick to your core, because I think box office is important in theatricals.
When we say Ayushmann Khurrana, the words that are associated with you and your films are usually disruptive cinema, socially relevant, and such terms. Have you ever thought of breaking free from this categorization, or are you okay with dominating this niche?
Disruptive cinema will always be intriguing for the audience. I also feel that a film like Action Hero, if it is released now, would have done much better. So I can't stay away from quirk, I can't stay away from disruption or clutter-breaking content. I've been known for that. Even with Dream Girl, it is still clutter-breaking because nobody has transitioned to a woman character in the past 30 years, I think, in recent memory would have been probably Govinda Ji in Auntie Number One. That'll always be part of my filmography, the disruption and uniqueness of content.
During the pandemic, no, there was this constant conversation about theatres are done, OTT is the next thing, and content is king, and superstardom was not enough to bring people to the audience. What do you think of this conversation now?
I think the conspiracy theories will always change every 6 months or year. So nothing is going to just put like in like golden words that this is going to happen forever. Nothing is forever. It's ever changing, ever evolving, and it's like a curve. Like theaters are back, and sequels are working. More than that, the films with mass palette, they're working more in theatricals. So theaters are back, and how? So I'm glad this has happened, and I hope this era continues. And of course, there'll be like a perfect schism between OTT content and theatrical content. We have to just choose the medium, right?
You know, when you started your film career back in 2012, social media wasn't as, people were not active on social media as they're active today. So over the course of time, has your choices been impacted by the constant feedback from audience? Because this feedback is instant today.
Of course, feedback really reflects your choices of cinema. The prime example is Dreamgirl 2. This is what audience want to see. So, you know, of course, there's a difference between what you want to do and what audience are looking for. So the idea is to just have that fine line and combine the two and give them a very wholesome product. And you know, that will happen. But I think it's a boon coming from social media that you are more open to feedback, and it depends on you how you take it. If you take it like a motivation to do something better and give them something what they want with your core intact, I think nothing will be as good as that.
And also on the plus side of social media, time and again there's this whole list of underrated Hindi films that keeps coming up. And two of the films that are always there on the list is one is Meri Pyari Bindu and one is An Action Hero Now. So what do you think of this? You know, are you happy about it, or you're like theatre mein aake dekh le to acha hota tha?
But that's fine, you know, in the long run, like 20 years down the line, I'll be really proud of these films because these will always stay with you. And it's just like Lamhe, for example. It didn't do well at the box office, but you're sitting in YRF right now, and it's one of my favorite films. So it doesn't really matter to me whether I watch Lamhe on the big screen or at home on VHS, but it still remains close to my heart. If that film gives you certain value or nostalgia or that butterflies in your stomach, I think it's fine. You are actually satisfied as an artist.
Yeah. Also, does it give you the conviction to go in your path of the kind of choices you make? Like when people say, oh, this film is underrated, we should have watched it.
It's just the timing, I think. Yeah. It's just the timing. I'll go with my gut, with my intuition. Rest depends on the release timing, marketing, it's multifactorial.
And also, there's this trend of re-releasing films now. Yeah, of course, after a decade or 20 years, if you had to today re-release one of your films, which would be?
I'll re-release Action Hero.
Action Hero, in the theatres.
Yeah.
And you think it would be like?
I don't know, but since the habit of people going back to cinemas, it's there now. It's back. So why not? And
also, you're one of those rare Hindi actors who have had their films remade in South. Usually, it's the other way around. Do you have any aspirations to work in the South with the team? And
would love to, especially Malayalam Cinema. I'm a huge Fahad Fazil fan, and if I get a chance, would love to collaborate with him because I think resonate with my core, the kind of cinema he does. Like Kumbalangi Nights is one of my favorite films. I love the soundtrack as well. A lot of films down south, especially Malayalam Cinema, because it's just simple, it's close to the milieu, it's rooted.
Also, you know, you always had this mid-budget or low-budget films you've been part of. Do you think for the theatrical audience to come, it should be a high-budget film?
Not really, not anymore. Like it was a norm till last year, but in the past 3 months, the mid-budget, low-budget films are doing pretty well. All these films, which in this month of August, Gadar 2, Oh My God 2, Dreamgirl 2, none of them are big-budget films. So I think that's a good sign.
Yeah. Now, since you're sitting in the YRF studio, I want to ask you, how has your collaboration been with YRF, and is there any future collaboration in the cards?
Would love to. You know, I've done 3 films with YRF. Bewakufiyan, Meri Pyari Bindu and Dam Laga Ke Aisha. And it's been a great collaboration. And would love to do something different which resonate with both our cores. It'll be great.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.